So, Pastor Jeff, I'm a Southern Baptist pastor at North Albemarle Baptist Church. You're a Southern Baptist pastor now at West Canton Baptist Church. Both of our churches are part of the Southern Baptist Convention. I'm curious. I know why I am, but I'm curious. Why are you a Southern Baptist pastor? You don't have to be. So why are you?
Right. So I always tell people when they ask me this question that I'm Baptist because I believe we're most near to right.
Okay.
Right?
I can get on board with that.
And I'm Southern Baptist because of the way we cooperate together in missions, and because of the Baptist Faith and Message 2000, our confession of faith. So I hold to that statement of faith. I think it is biblical, and I think it's accurate biblically. I think obviously it's accurate about baptism and the Lord's Supper and the nature of the church. But I also appreciate how it speaks to some modern day issues regarding the family and social order and those kinds of things. But ultimately, even if I thought the Baptist Faith and Message was not the greatest confession or statement of faith, I'm a Baptist because of the way that we cooperate. I'm a Southern Baptist because of the way we cooperate together. So I'm a Baptist on one side of the state, you're a Baptist in another part of the state, and we cooperate together as Southern Baptists to send missionaries in America, church planters in America, and missionaries all over the world. And we're the largest. We have the largest missionary sending agency in the world because of the way that we cooperate together. We do things together like disaster relief in America, in our home, and we do things like, of course, as I mentioned before, church planting, maybe even in our own counties or cities nearby. We work together, and I think it's biblical for us to work together, to associate together as churches, and to work together to support one another, and it gives everybody a voice. And what I always try to explain to people, I have this conversation with anybody that wants to join the church that I pastor, is I try to explain what Southern Baptists look like, what we are, and I have to explain to them because there's some misconception, and I don't know exactly where it's come from, but there's this misconception that to be Southern Baptist means that you have to do this or you have to do that because the Southern Baptists say you have to.
Yeah, that's right.
And really, that's not the case at all.
That's the furthest thing from the truth.
It's the farthest thing from the truth. Exactly. So it's actually the opposite. Yeah. Like we have a vote. We do give cooperatively to the cooperative program as we cooperate together in missions, but because of that, we actually get to go to a convention once a year, and we get a vote about where that money goes and how that money is spent. And the only thing that the Southern Baptist Convention can do is to actually put us out.
They can just choose to not associate with us anymore.
Exactly, but they have no authority whatsoever in our church.
Right.
They can't tell us how much to give. They can't tell us what to do or not do.
So they don't tell the church who to hire as the pastor.
They don't tell the church who to hire as a pastor. They don't tell the church what kind of music to sing.
They don't tell you what to preach.
They don't tell me what to preach.
You don't get an email every Sunday with a fresh sermon in it?
No, I don't. Okay. I don't, right? And so they do provide some curriculum that we can use, but aids. They don't make us use.
Yeah.
Right? We still have to buy that.
That's right.
But what we know about that curriculum is, again, it's based on, or at least has as its foundation, the Baptist Faith and Message.
It agrees with us doctrinally, and so we can safely make that purchase and use that curriculum knowing that its authors also agree with the same statement of faith that we agree with.
Right, right. And we don't have to worry about that.
Exactly.
Oftentimes the authors of that curriculum are professors in our seminaries. Yep. Which is another great reason to be a Southern Baptist.
Yeah.
We have probably the greatest seminaries in the world.
We have 6 of them.
Six great seminaries. I know you've attended Southern Baptist Theological Seminary.
Just to be clear, I've attended I graduated from the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary.
So I'm at Midwestern.
You're the little sister.
That's okay. Right. It used to be like the sad little sister, but it's much better now. Thanks
it's
to
growing.
Dr. Allen,
yes.
right?
It's phenomenal now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but but yeah, I'm working on my master's there, and I'm able to do that at a reduced rate of tuition because of the cooperative program.
Half the cost.
Yeah, half the
Yeah,
cost.
I've got a friend that's an independent Baptist pastor that's going to one of our seminaries and paying twice as much as what I paid because of my church and your church and every other church, all 45,000 churches across the SBC. A penny of that goes to the seminaries. Every time you give,
Yeah.
some of that goes, and that reduced my rate by half, my tuition.
Yeah.
Same thing at Fruitland.
Yes,
My tuition
absolutely.
at Fruitland was reduced significantly because of tithing church members in Southern Baptist churches.
Yeah. And so we cooperate together for the sake of missions. We cooperate together for the sake of theological education.
So I just want to be really clear. Like every church now, like Southern Baptist churches, we've all got our own logos now. Logos are such a big deal, and we're all branded and everything. We're not like on different teams though, right? So this isn't like your logo versus my logo, and so we're not competing with each other, right? And the target people out there. So I'm gonna try to sneak in one day when you're not there and steal some of your church members or something like that. Or we're not playing that game, right?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I mean, so definitely as Southern Baptists, we should see ourselves as partners in the ministry, and we want to see ourselves as partners with every gospel believing, gospel preaching church. And even if they might be outside of the Southern Baptist Convention, but definitely as those of us who are Southern Baptists, man, what we ought to recognize is that there's no shortage of lost people.
It's true.
There's no shortage of unregenerate, unconverted people in our communities. And if every Southern Baptist church in this county, in Stanley County, were to be full this coming Sunday, and it's probably 55 or 60 Southern Baptist churches in Stanley County,
I think about 60,
something like that. So if they were all to be full this coming Sunday, there would still we would need room for thousands more people.
Yeah,
thousands of more.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have a place to sit, and so we're not in competition, man.
If every church of every denomination in Stanley County were full, there would still we wouldn't be able to hold them all.
Absolutely, there's no way. There's no way we could hold them all, and so if we really want to engage, and this is why we do this, we do it so that we can engage in missions together. Cooperate together, associate together. And so, you don't have to be part of the association, the local association, or the state convention even, to be part of the Southern Baptist Convention. But we generally do associate together locally in a county or region, and then a state, and then the national convention. But we do all of that for the sake of missions partnerships, and not, if anything, it ought to actually keep us from, the logo wars, competition.
Have you ever been to an SBC, a convention?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was at the convention in 2000 that ratified the.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. I was a junior in high school and didn't know what Southern Baptist was. So
thanks for the old man joke.
So yeah. No, man, my favorite thing, I've been to the last 6 or 7 of them, man. And, I don't know what they were doing then, but now one of the big highlights of the SBC every year is what they call the sending service. So the IMB, the International Mission Board, our international missions arm or agency, every year at the SBC, we have a sending ceremony where we commission new missionaries to go literally all over the world. And essentially the convention is the world's largest business meeting. I mean, it is a huge 2-day business meeting. We do business, and if we're honest, we don't always agree with each other on resolutions or policies or things like that.
Yeah.
And so there can be some squabbling from time to time, and we might have a reputation for that as Baptists. We've earned that. But man, that one night or that afternoon, whenever we do that sending service, that we come together then. And I don't know that there's a dry eye in the room. I mean, it's one of my top 10 favorite moments of my life is just watching, because they'll come out. Sometimes they're carrying a flag of the nation that they're going to. Sometimes sometimes they can't carry the flag, and they're actually, the light's been turned off, and it's just a silhouette because they're going to a closed nation where the gospel is illegal. Sometimes it's a single person. Sometimes it's a married couple. Sometimes it's a family with multiple kids, and all you see is the silhouette of the stair steps of children. And I just think, when I give to my local church, right, I pay tithes. A percentage of that is going to enable that family to go to whatever nation, that is not even welcoming them, and would potentially kill them if they knew that they were there doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Man, that grips me, and I leave every SBC saying, listen, we're not perfect. We got our issues, but man, I am glad to be a part of this thing that's happening right here, because God is using it, and we are going to the ends of the earth with the gospel, man.
Absolutely. And to add to that, so I have a sister and brother-in-law who are IMB missionaries in Eastern Europe, and it is the best missionary care agency as well. I mean, they have access to any health care that they need, any sort of emotional or psychological help that they may need, counseling of any sort. There are people that are constantly checking on them. They're encouraged, prayed for, supported, and, and and when you hold that over against like every other missionary sending agency, you have other agencies that kind of oversee you, but you have to raise your own funds to go.
That's the thing.
And so you're constantly worried, man, about money drying up at home. You may have to fly back home once or twice a year just to to shake hands and take up offerings and that kind of thing. Man, our missionaries for the International Mission Board and the SBC missionaries are able to just go plant themselves in a people on the field and minister the gospel.
Absolutely, man.
Plant churches and plant the gospel there, without having to worry about those things, and actually know that they're being cared for. So if anything happens, they're good.
It is a force for Jesus, and I love it, man. I'm personally, I'm so thankful to be a part of it. I'm thankful you're a part of it, and I'm thankful that we can cooperate together on things like this. So thanks a lot, man.
Me too, buddy.
Yeah.